welcome back to my channel. So this is part 2 on my living with PCOS lifestyle change, and this is kind of the story of how I ended up here. So the last video that I did was a lot more factual on, the symptoms of PCOS, the problems that I've been having with it, what I've learned about it, what changes I'm making in my life to be able to support a healthier me. But this time I kind of wanted to tell you my personal struggles with PCOS and kind of what led me to where I am now, and I guess why now I've decided that I'm going to do something about it. So as I said before, I was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome when I was around 19, 20 years old, and I really didn't do much with it. I just kind of was like, I'll get to it later, it's not a big deal. I was super active, especially during middle school and high school. I was a competitive horseback rider. I was 135 pounds of muscle and could wrangle pretty much any horse I wanted to ride. And so I would say, I had not just been a couch potato. And then kind of when I was not doing that any longer, the barn that I was riding with left and went to another state, one that they felt that they could be more lucrative. So after that point, I really didn't do a whole lot of physical stuff. And that's when I started gaining weight. And, that's every girl's nightmare, is to go from being somewhat fit and then all of a sudden, well, okay, that's a lie. I was pretty fit. I still have a pair of jeans or a pair of riding pants that I used when I was showing, and I can fit my arm in it. So those are my skinny pants, but they are not the end all be all. If I never get back to being there, that's okay with me. I just want to be a healthier version of myself than I am now. So I've done a lot of different things. I hate working out. Working out makes me want to cry inside. It is never something that I have found enjoyable. I worked for Lifetime Fitness for many years, and I did work out on occasion, and I hated it. There was no enjoyment in it. I didn't love it. I tried doing classes. I'm the most uncoordinated person ever. I remember going to a step class, and I am not very good at left and right, and so when they were doing all these sequences and everything, I kept crashing into the person next to me. I mean, it was literally the poster child for people who should not be in group classes. Like, it just disrupted the class. It was so bad. I was even in the back and still jacked everything up. So, just really not my thing. It's not what I enjoy. Now, before I moved out to Arizona, I did meet a personal trainer, and her and I did sessions for a few months before I left to Arizona. And I really liked that because I could tailor it with her to things that my body could do. Sometimes with the inflammation issues with PCOS, it really truly makes you feel like you're an arthritic person. And if you push things too far, you're literally going to pay for it for days, and then you have to recover in order to be able to work out again. And so there's this really fine line of, yes, you want to push your body, but you can't push it too far or else you're going to kind of go backwards. So that was kind of nice to be able to have her where I could mediate things, and if I could feel that something was pushing it too far or not good or just wasn't ready for it yet, we would kind of modify it. We would simple it down a notch. And that was really helpful. And I did start to enjoy working out more because I liked her, and because she was really great at keeping me motivated and helping me see how far I had come already in the weeks that we had been working with each other. So that was really helpful. Yet again, not my favorite time of the week when I had to go and see her for twice a week. But it's one of those things where I hate doing it, but afterwards I get this really wonderful sense of accomplishment and joy in knowing that I pushed myself to do it. I just have to get back into the mode where I can get there again. And that's, kind of part of what I'm doing with this. So I have, according to my fitness pal, been on this new lifestyle plan for 13 days. And I went over in the last video what I was doing. No gluten, no processed foods, no non-naturally occurring sugar, so no added sugar into recipes, only things that are already sweet themselves. Being accountable for every calorie that I eat, and making sure that I take supplements to support my body as I'm going through these changes. So with that lifestyle, I've done a lot of that before. I know that gluten for me is a fine line. I do well with it sometimes and I don't do well with it other times. Certain foods can make me really, really sick, and I'm fairly sure that I'm allergic to some preservative, because there are just certain foods that make me super, super sick and others that don't. Most of the time it's processed foods. So by cutting that out, I really have not had issues. Actually, since I've been making all of my own food, I have not had any issues at all. It's been awesome to just know that everything I eat is fine. Like, I am not gonna get sick, I'm not gonna feel bad, I'm not gonna regret what I ate. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. So how did I get to the point where I wanted to do this? Because that's the first thing you need to find, is you need to find your want to. You can't want to do it because you have a wedding coming up. You can't want to do it because you have maxed out all of your clothes and there's something you've got to do to be able to fit in them. Those are all valid reasons, don't get me wrong. But there's a difference between a short-term motivation and a want to that is so life-changing for you that it gives you the energy to suit up for battle and suit up to make this change and know that you're gonna fight for it. And that is finally where I arrived. It's been a long time coming, and God and I have had many conversations about my weight and about my feelings about that and about my feelings of working out and being healthy, because I know that my body is his temple, and part of my responsibility is to take care of myself because I am created in his image. His Holy Spirit resides in me, and I am part of his family and also where he dwells. He dwells within me. And if I have a sick, uncared for, not healthy home for him, that's like putting up a cardboard box and being like, hey God, I made you a home. I hope you like it. It's going to be really cute and cozy. We'll put some curtains up, put a little throw rug in. It'll be fine. You won't even notice that it's a cardboard box, and if it rains, it's going to melt. It's no big deal. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, how insulting is that? Really? That's insulting. Nobody would be excited about that. And luckily, God loves us so much that he understands that this is a struggle. And I mean, you can go all the way back to Adam and Eve, okay? Eve literally sent the world into punishment over an apple. If you don't think that God cares about your eating habits, you are so far from being right on that. Like, there are specific passages in the Bible talking about food consumption and how we need to control that aspect of our lives as well. And not finding our identity in food, not finding our comfort in food. You know, when bad days happen, what do? You know, we could go shopping, we could eat. I mean, there's so many different things that we comfort ourselves with, but 80% of people find food as comfort. Whether it's drinking, whether it is eating cookie, a pie, you know, going to their favorite restaurant and having a special dinner for them. Like, those are all ways that we detract from God, because we no longer go to Him for our comfort. We now have something else that we're going to. And food is not bad. Obviously, God created us that we needed to eat food in order to survive. But I guess that's where we need to change our thinking of we need to eat to live and not live to eat. And I for sure was the first person to be like, you know what? I'm totally okay for the fact that I live to eat. I'm proud of it. I enjoy food. I love everything food. And I'm okay with that. Like, you people that want to just eat to survive, that's great for you. Good on ya. I'm so proud of you. It's not what I'm going to do. So, how is it that now I'm turning into one of those people that I choose to eat to live and not live to eat? Well, this is going to take a minute to connect the dots. You're probably going to go, I don't understand where this story's going, and I don't understand what this has to do with this. But bear with me, okay? Because God works in a big picture, not in a small picture. Not in a moment, I should say. He works in a big picture, long-term future events, not in the moment that you want it. It's for the moment that you need it. So, if any of you know me personally, or you have followed me on any of my social media, you probably know that I'm a huge fan of South Korea and Korean culture. I have, for the past 3 years, had it on my bucket list that I am going to Korea. I am going to Korea. I want to spend 2 weeks there. I want to go on vacation. I want to see the sights. I want to eat food. I want to hang out with people. I want to drink coffee in the cool little coffee shops that they have. I want to experience Korea to the fullest. So, God and I have had this discussion too. I have been asking, when is this going to happen? When is this going to happen? I feel like every time I try and make this happen, all the doors keep shutting. All the doors keep shutting. All the doors keep shutting. When is this going to happen? I know that this is something that you have for my life. Like, you've given me such a deep passion for this culture and for these people. And I love making their food. I am learning their language. I love their music, their TV shows. You know, it's like there's so much about it that I have such a ravenous curiosity to learn about, that I know that there's a point to that. So, God and I have wrestled about that, mostly me losing, but obviously that's how that goes. But it's always been on my heart, and I keep getting this wait, not yet, wait, not yet, wait, not yet. It will happen. I will give you assurance in that. And that's basically all I've had to go on, is that I've had assurance that it will happen. Just have no idea when that's going to happen. So, let's see. So 15 days ago, I was driving home from work, and I'm jamming out to my K-pop. The windows are down. It's finally under 1 billion degrees here in Arizona. And I'm like, okay, today's a good day. Today's a good day. And a K-pop song comes on. And I can't actually remember which one it is, because I was so distracted by a realization that happened to me that I don't remember which one it was. So this K-pop song comes on, and I'm pulling up to get off the freeway onto my road, and I hear this presence tell me, you are going to Korea next year. And I literally, welled up with tears, even as I think about it now, gosh. And I was like, okay, wow, what? Huh? Run that one by me again? I'm surprised I made it home. I was so distracted. Luckily, it was all of 10 feet once I got off the highway to be able to get to my home. But I'm like, what do you mean? What? You can't just drop that bomb on me. What does that mean? Could you clarify that a little bit more? So as I spent time with the Lord that night, praying, doing my devotion, and just being like, okay, so you gave me this answer, but I'm going to need you to give me just a little bit more. And the response that I got was, you have the opportunity to go next year, but God and I always have a but. You need to get your health in order, and you need to get your finances in order. Because if there's a possibility that I have a plan for you to eventually move to Korea, you need to have both of those things in order. You need to make sure that all your financial obligations are taken care of. So that way if you move there, they're not going to follow you there. That you are free from that you are free to start over. And your health is something that you're going to need to even go there. So I'm like, okay, all right, I'm on board. I can do this. And I was like, okay, so now what? The financial thing I'm gonna go over with you guys in another video, and it's not a very proud moment in my life, but hey, you know, we all have those moments, and we all have those times, and we grow, and we learn, and we don't do it again. That's the plan anyways. But the health side of things, I was like, ugh, okay, so, alright, I can do this. I can make this change. You know, I've really kind of adjusted the way that I'm living for a fair amount already, and I have really, the biggest part of this is that God instilled the passion and joy of cooking to me. And I don't think without that already being in place, and that already being something that I do for pure enjoyment and for relaxation and relieving stress, that this would have gone as easily as I would have liked it to. But because I was like, you know what? I am already eating foods that are a good diet. And by the way, eating Korean food is almost exactly how you should eat for PCOS. Just throwing it out there. The paleo diet is basically the perfect scenario. You need like a paleo / diabetic diet for regulating PCOS. So I was already started. Like, I had already been eating that way. Like, even when I had a bad week and I wanted to chow down on something in my house, I hardly had anything. Everything was all ingredients, and I had to make them. And the effort of going through the process of cooking it and making it, or making something with dough, and it takes an hour and a half to make good dough and rise and blah, blah, blah. I mean, like, it was never anything that was going to be like, yes, I'm going to go to my freezer and there's a pint of ice cream and I'm just going to pound the whole thing. Like, thankfully, I had already done that for myself. I had already kind of set myself up for this transition, and God knew that. God knew that I was at a place where I was already starting. I just needed to fine-tune it and have the real want to have the real want to be better for myself, not for anybody else, not for any event. I wanted to be healthy, and that was the first time that I have ever said that to myself. Isn't that crazy? Like, you know, I was always like, well, I want to lose weight because I don't want to be fat anymore. But it wasn't, I want to be healthy. I want to change so that I can live a better life. I can live a longer life. I can live a healthier life. That, you know, when I go to Korea, you know, they walk a ton of places. They use the subway system. They use the bus system. They walk everywhere. They bike everywhere. Like, they're super active people. And, you know, if you're a tourist, you walk way more than you plan to anyways, because you're walking to this tourist site, and you're walking around the tourism sites, and, you know, you're hiking, and you're exploring, and I can walk 3 days at Comic-Con at the convention center there, and I am dead. Like, I have to plan 2 days of recovery after doing stuff like that, because my body is so out of shape. It is so angry at me that I physically cannot move after that. So like day 1 of recovery is like total couch day, like so sore, popping ibuprofen every 6 hours, like real bad. Day 2 is, hey, now we can move. We're sore as heck, but now we can move. That's ridiculous. That's unnecessary. And the fact that that didn't have me change my life tells you something right there. Like, I just was okay with that. I planned to have recovery days. Who does that? I am so out of shape that I'm going to go to Comic-Con because I love Comic-Con, and I'm going to walk around and I'm going to have so much fun, and then I'm going to die for 2 days. What? Explain that logic to me. Explain that. So here I am, now deciding, okay, fine. You're right. If I want to do this, I need to be healthy for myself to be able to do this. Because I'm not going to have the luxury of being like, oh, it's okay, you know, it happens once a year. Like, no, I'm going to spend that much time in Korea, and I am not going to spend every 4th and 5th day dying. Like, I mean, I'm just not. That's such a stupid thing. Be like, okay, so I'm going to go, I'm going to have the time of my life, but I'm going to pay for it so enormously that I could cripple myself. No. No, 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 no. So, I found my want to. And I can't tell you how amazing it is to have that want to. Like, if you talk to any fit person or person that is really loving their healthy lifestyle, they will all tell you the same thing. You have to have a want to for yourself. And it is not a fluffy, shallow reason. There is a core reason that you decide to do this for yourself. And it makes the biggest difference. It does. It makes the biggest difference ever. So now I have my want to. Now I had to kind of figure out what I was going to do with it. So hence, I had done 1 billion hours of research on PCOS. Wasn't 1 billion, but you know, I took my curious mind and I placed it into laser focus on PCOS. I researched supplements and foods that were good and exercises that were good and just things that I needed to do that would help create a great environment for a body that has PCOS. And I learned a lot, and I found great websites that gave me so much information. And you know, lo and behold, I found I had a ton of supplements that I already had that were what I needed. How does that happen? Like, I mean, I could literally start everything right away. If that's not God ordained, where I literally have it hiding in my closet in my bathroom where all my vitamins are, like literally the top 4 things, 5 things that I needed, I had. I had to go out and buy new omega oils, but every Sprouts out here in Arizona has it. It's not like it's hard to find. And I had to go grocery shopping, so I was buying all the normal foods that I had. I mean, it literally just kind of fell into this, like, here you go. I want you to be healthy for me. And that was it. I was sold. And, you know, I talked about how my mom is my coach, and she is my cheerleader, and she is my person that I call and I go, I messed up. I failed. And I ate a moon pie. So this is a funny story. Because I've never once ever eaten a moon pie in my life. And it was the first day. And I was a Saturday. It was a Saturday. It was my first day. And I was like, okay, I'm going grocery shopping. I'm getting all the food I need. I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And I'm purging my life in my house. For some reason, cleaning my eating act up means I'm cleaning my house out. And I have systematically gone through and cleaned out my house. Anyways. So I had a whole bunch of errands to run that day, and I was like, no, I'm going to set myself up for success. I ate a good lunch right before I was going to the grocery store, so I was full, and I didn't need to worry about being hungry and around all this food. Now, the benefit is that when you go to Asian grocery stores, they are all about the cubic square foot. Like, they don't have really pretty displays of things and the Coke Tower and You know, they just don't do that stuff. It is like the rows upon rows upon rows, and it is full, and it is jam-packed, and they need every square foot to be able to fit all that stuff in. So those are great grocery stores to go to when you are not allowed to have a lot of things, because they don't tempt you. The way that they eat is so different than it is for us here in the US. So they don't have like the baked goods and stuff like that are everywhere. I mean, they do have some, but it's not at all the same thing. Like, it's not as like overly sweet. Sometimes it's more savory, or it's much more health orientated. But anyways, so, you know, I'm going grocery shopping, I'm getting everything I need. It ends up taking me 4 hours to go everywhere I needed. And not all of it was grocery shopping. There was, you know, other life things. I had to go to Goodwill to drop off all the stuff I didn't need in my house, and I had to pick up other things. But then it was like I had to hit the 3 Asian grocery stores, because each one of them sells something, either a better quality, or they usually have more, or, you know, whatever. And then I went to Sprouts to get my raw honey and my supplement things that I needed. And then I had to go to a normal grocery store because I have electricity that I go to a pay station, and I pay my electricity on the pay station, and it gives me a little card that I go to my box and I put my money in the box, and it tells the electric company, hey, so she paid this much money for her electric right now. Yay! So here I am at the grocery store, a normal one, a Bash's', if anybody cares, like Jewel. I think they're owned by Jewel. And they have all their fall displays of pumpkin cupcakes and cute little adorable back cookies and all these ridiculously delicious looking things. And remind you, it is day one. And in my brain I'm going, no sugar, no prepackaged food. Like, I'm already being like, why am I doing this? I'm giving up everything. Why? Did I really want to do this? I don't think I really want to do this, but I'm going to do this. Are we sure we want to do this? I mean, I just bought all this food. I'm going to have to do this, but so here I am running around this grocery store, like, just stay focused, just outer edge, don't go in the middle, stay away from the middle, because that's all the bad stuff is in the middle. Like, all your produce and your meat and your dairy, they're all on the outside. Like, you just run around the outside, but then there's the bakery at the end. So I'm running through, and I'm getting my eggs, and I'm getting other things I need. I can't remember what else I need. I needed something else. But anyways, oh, ground beef, because it's cheaper there. They had a good sale. Not that you would care or need to know. So I'm grabbing the 2 things that I need. I need 2 things. And I'm running to the self-checkout line, and I am hungry. It's been 4 hours. I've been running around like a crazy woman, and I am hungry. And it wasn't like, oh, I have PCOS and I'm hungry. No, no, no. This was like, you have used more energy today than you have used in a long time, and you only fed us this much for lunch. Like, I am hungry. So I'm like, okay, fine. We're gonna go home. I have some stuff already pre-made, so that way I could just eat it and I don't have to worry about it. I have things available for me when I get to this hungry, angry, hangry point of my life. And on my way to the checkout, and I passed this stupid stand that says Moonpies, 2 for $1. And I'm like, Moonpies, 2 for $1? I'm like, that's so cheap. I'm like, that's like 50 cents each. Because I can do math. Woo. And it looks so good. You know, it's chocolate coated and puffy. And I was like, okay. Well, it looks like it's easy to eat in one hand while I'm driving home, because this girl is real hungry. So somehow my brain was like, yeah, that's exactly what we need. That is the perfect scenario, perfect storm of what we need right now. You best pick up 2. So I'm like, okay, fine, we'll grab 2. And I'm like, why am I doing this? What am I eating these for? I'm like, I don't even know what this is. I'm like, what is graham cracker, marshmallow, chocolate, oh, some more, in a wrapper? I'm like, I guess. And I'm like, do I really need beep? I don't know, beep, in my bag. And yeah, we bought them. I don't know, do I really need these? I mean, I don't know if I really should. God, that's horrible. That's the worst thing I've ever eaten. Why am I still eating it? Why did I finish that? Why did I open up the second one and proceed to eat and finish that one too? Oh my gosh, my taste buds were like, this is gonna be amazing. This is gonna be the best thing ever. This is the best thing I've ever eaten. And I eat it. And it was such a letdown. Let me tell you. That was the most disappointing thing I had put in my mouth in a very, very long time. And I was like, are you kidding? Here I am, day one, and I'm going to do so good. And I eat a flippin' moon pie that I've never had before. Not one, but two. And by the way, it said proudly on the package, only 300 calories. Guess what? That is half of my allotment for two of them. 600 calories. I ate half of my allotment for the day in these two unsatisfying, chemically induced, chocolatey, fluffy things. Explain that to me. So I called my mom. Mom, I'm a failure. I can't believe I did this. I just ate moon pies. She's like, do you even like moon pies? I'm like, I don't know. It's the first time I had a moon pie. Why am I eating a moon pie? I'm so disgusted with myself right now. And she's like, calm down. Calm down. She's like, one mistake does not ruin everything. Because, you know why? This was the best analogy I've ever thought of, and I'm sure I've heard it before. When you're first starting out, it's the hardest because it's like you're taking a boulder and you're pushing it. And when you have no momentum, getting the dang thing rolling is the hardest part. Once you have momentum and once you got things rolling, things get easier. But you're pushing this big old rock and you're trying to get it to flip over and you're trying to get it to roll and it's not working real well. Well, because you gotta get started. Like, that's the point of starting and learning and growing. And, that day I made 80% good choices. I turned down so many other things. I gave up my boba tea when I went grocery shopping. That's always what I get. I get my boba tea and I go grocery shopping. But I gave that up. It's one of my favorite things in life. But I fell for a moon pie. But we need to not dwell on that because that is forgiven. That is moved on. It will never happen again because that is the world's most disappointing snack of my life. But I just wanted you guys to know that even though you have the want to, you're gonna need to have somebody to back you up in those moments. Because the difference is, if I had had those moon pies in my brain, and my brain was going, this is perfect, this is exactly what we need, and I had gone, no, this is not what we need. You know what I need right now is I need help. And I need help to make right choices from somebody who can truly change my thought process about this. And what I should have done is I should have stopped and I should have prayed and said, God, I really want those dang moon pies. I don't know what they are. They look delicious to me, but I know I don't need them. I know I need the strength for you to give me 20 minutes. I need 20 minutes of strength to get from this grocery store to my home to food I can eat and eat without guilt. If I had done that, this would have been a different story. But it wasn't. But the difference is that I now realize that. So the lesson that I learned in that was not, oh my God, I'm a failure because it's a chocolate covered frickin' moon pie. No. That's not it. What I learned was that I am not going to do this on my own. I do not have the physical capability to say no to things that I really want, regardless of if they're gonna be good or not, regardless of if they're good for me or not, because I just am not that strong. But I know someone who is. I have someone in my corner all the time that is strong enough to lend me a hand and say, you know what, I can help you with that because you came to me and you asked me for help. I can do that for you. And that's amazing. That's so cool. Because I am not able to make this life change on my own. I can try as hard as I want and I will fail epically every single time. Because that's what I've done every time before. And this time it's different because I'm not doing it for myself, with myself. I am doing it as a child, fulfilling the request of her father to be healthier. And I'm asking for his help along the way, to hold my hand, to walk through this with me. And it has made the biggest difference ever. Now, it's not all been sunshine and roses, don't get me wrong. Just because I have his help, yes, it makes it easier, but it does not make it any less challenging. Because every time I have to make that choice, that I'm not going to submit to myself, to my human nature, to my sinful nature, that I am going to rise above and I am going to ask for assistance. As humans, that's so contradictory. What do you mean I can't do it myself? I can do it myself. Why can't I do it myself? I can always do things myself. I don't need help. In this, I need help. Me, Chelsea Munsterman, right here. She needs help. And there's only one person who can help me. I can have as many cheerleaders, prayer warriors, encouragers, people that are running alongside me with this. But if I don't ask for his help, it will not happen. I am not strong enough for that. And that's okay. Because the part that I am retraining my brain is the want to has to come with dependence on God. Is your mind blown? Because when I figured that out, my mind was like, why didn't I realize that before? Because I wasn't ready to. God does things in time when we are ready for it. If God had approached me about this a few years ago, last year, 6 months ago, 2 months ago, I would not have been ready. There was something about that day, 15 days ago, where I was finally ready and God knew it and he sent the message. Was like, yo, this is it. Let's do this. And I was ready. I was willing to jump on that bandwagon with him. Another really amazing tool that I have right now that I've actually had on my bookshelf forever and actually made it through. I had just gone through my bookshelf and gotten rid of books that I've never read again or books that were just not as good as I thought they would be, and I sent them to Goodwill. And somehow this book managed to be saved. And I seriously think it's because I needed to have it for right now. And I think in my gut, I knew that I couldn't get rid of it. But it is an amazing book called Made to Crave. It is by a wonderful woman who has the most personable experience. And a lot of what truths I am understanding now are truths that she learned as well. And it's amazing. It's 19 chapters. And I'm on chapter 10 or 11. So every day that I go through a challenge and I read one of her chapters, it pertains to the challenge that I've had that day. And she gives so much God truth and enlightenment that God shared with her, just like I'm sharing with you guys now, that it's amazing. It's so helpful. It's amazing to know that other women are struggling exactly the same way we are. But there's an answer. And the answer is not in us. The answer is not in the information that I can tell you. The answer is not in a book that tells you the 10 simple ways to lose weight or the 5 ways to make a faster metabolism. That's not the answer. The answer is in Christ. The answer is being able to go to him and ask for help. Because we will always fail on our own. So now that I have learned all of this, I'm still learning. I am still, I'm 15 days into this, okay? So I am not the master of all knowledge, but this is so amazing because of how much I have learned already. And I'm so excited to be able to share with you guys as I go along this journey and what I learn along the way, because I want to share this joy and this excitement and this knowledge with you guys, because I hope every person can feel this way. And it may not be weight loss for you. It could be a drug addiction. It could be a shopping addiction. It could be pornography. It could be anything. It could be so specific and yet so general. But these things I'm saying mean the same thing. No matter what addiction you have, what craving you have, what thing that you have that you are putting before God, everything I'm saying applies to that as well. Because if you try and change that about yourself by yourself without any help, you will fail too. And I don't mean that to be discouraging. I mean that to be exciting, to be an honest, loving truth. Because there is an answer I can give you for that. If you truly want to change, if you truly want to make a difference in your life in any area, all you have to do is ask. It is not going to be easy. And when you ask, you have to be ready to ask every day for help. Sometimes twice a day. Sometimes 3 times a day. Sometimes you need to fall on your knees in prayer and go, I can't make this choice on my own. I'm going to have you help me. But that's okay. Because the growth that you will learn going through that will be something you carry on for the rest of your life. And that is so cool. But, yeah, that's kind of the story that I have for you guys. Yeah. You know, I love you guys. I hope this video encourages you. I hope that this gives you the courage to reevaluate where you are in life and see if you can find your want to, and ask for your want to. And if you guys need any encouragement, or if I can answer any questions, or if I can help in any way, please reach out to me. You know, at the end of my videos and in the description box down below, I usually always have all of my social media. I would be more than happy to have a conversation with you. And yeah, God loves you, and so do I. And have an amazing, amazing day. Bye, guys.